and that should be plenty. Okay, Rebecca,
Yeah.
hello.
Hi.
Hey, thank you for having this chat. Thank you for, I guess, being open to sharing your knowledge with everybody else who was a part of the trust. Um, the first thing I'll get you to do is introduce yourself. Um,
Okay.
your name, maybe your artist name, what you got coming up, and how long have you been with Crescendo? And over to you.
Okay. My name is Rebecca Rice. I haven't really thought about a stage name. I kind of like my name as my stage name. Um, I've been working on like 3 songs ever since I joined the trust. And I would really like to finish my song Bambi at some point and get it out on some platforms, hopefully. And I haven't been with the trust for too long. I just joined this year, I think in March, I'm pretty sure.
Yep,
Or yeah.
2021, March 2021, an
Yeah.
amazing time. Um, yeah, so I guess I got a couple questions for you. I guess talk us through your writing process. Because I think one of the attributes that you have that I think everybody else can find value in is the way you actually you come up with songs and the way you write. You know,
Right.
um, I've seen you play chords and then those chords turn into a full on song. Talk us through your process. What goes through your head whenever you're writing.
Um, Basically, I find it really hard to write about something that I'm not feeling. So basically, I'll write about if I'm feeling like in a certain moment, a certain way, then I'll probably write about it. And I usually start with a melody first because I find it easier to put words to it. And one of my favorite things to do when writing a song is trying my best to tell a story and not be too um what's the word, like vague or anything. Like I like to tell a story if I can.
Yeah. So one thing I really think that people can find value in that I think you're skilled in is your writing. So talk us through your writing process because I've seen you sit down in front of a piano and come up with a melody, and then that melody turns into a full on song. And um, I think what you're writing, especially your choruses, which Chip had a compliment, and he said he loved the way you wrote choruses. So yeah, talk us through your writing process. How what's going through your head when you're writing a song.
Um, Basically, what's going through my head is I usually write about whatever I'm feeling in that
Mm.
moment, or I highly exaggerate what I'm feeling in that moment. And I always try my best to tell a story because I love storytelling and songwriting. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I usually start with a melody when I songwrite, and then I add words to it later on because I find it easier to do it that way. And
Yep.
I love choruses pretty much the most. So because I feel like it's the main part of the song that everyone listens to, so or like it will hook someone's attention. So I try to focus a tiny bit more on
Yeah.
that part of the song.
When you're thinking about your storytelling, especially with lyrics, like how important is it for you to I guess be honest with your lyrics, or do you write from I guess a fiction or non-fiction side? Like which do you enjoy, which do you prefer, what's important to you when you're coming up with words and actually your story, what the narrative, what's important to you to come up with.
I do try my best to be truthful in the songwriting because it's more it helps me like enjoy the song more because I can relate to it. But I also do try to keep it kind of open so that if someone else were listening to it, they could interpret it as like for however they're feeling as well.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of exercises that you go through, or anything you just to get your head in the right space before you start attacking a song?
Not really. I do. I kind of always have my like a notebook or something around me so that whenever I do have a lyric in mind, I just write it down straight away. And then I have so many bits of like just random lyrics on my notes on my phone and just in notebooks just for when I do come back to it, and then I can use
Wicked.
that because I don't really have any exercises. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple, I guess, very very famous songwriters, who use the same technique. Is because inspiration can be a bit of a prick. You know, it strikes at like the stupidest moments. You know,
Yeah.
whether it be, you know, you're on a bus, or you're walking somewhere, or it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, when it hits, you don't
Yeah.
ignore it. Um,
Yeah.
I'd be interested to learn, like, in the short amount of time that you've been with us, um, has your writing style or has your thought process changed at all? You know, since you've been with Crescendo, and if it has, you know, what was the biggest change?
I'm pretty sure it definitely has. I think one of my biggest changes is that I'm trying to make my songs shorter. And I'm trying to think more about production and how I want the song to sound as a whole instead of just focusing on the vocals and one instrument. So I'm definitely trying to listen out more for what I want in the song
Yeah.
as well.
Do you think the experience has helped out a lot with your songwriting?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun working with Crescendo. Yeah.
Cool.
I love it.
Well, is there anything that you would like to share with, you know, artists who are in the same position as you, or aspiring songwriters? You know, is there any kind of knowledge that you would like to share with them to help them with their songwriting as well?
I would say just stick to being like truthful to yourself. Like when you're writing, don't try to like you can write for other people, but also I feel like the best songwriting will come from if it's personal to you as well still.
Yeah.
Because if you love it a lot, I feel like it will like other people will love it as well because you love it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for your time. And I genuinely can't wait for people to start hearing your music, because I
Me
think
too.
it is amazing. Um, yeah. So keep an ear out for Rebecca Rice, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you back in the
Thank
studio.
you.
Cool.